Hello and welcome to the Nerd Age Podcast. This is a show where we talk about things that are nerdy. I'm Joan and I'm here with Mick and Josh.
What's up?
How's it going? We're so glad you're here with us for another week of the Nerd Age Podcast. We are going to just start with some random news, and then towards the end of the episode, we'll talk about Daredevil. Well, Mick and Josh will talk about Daredevil, so stay tuned for that. News. First thing we're going to talk about here, we got a few trailers we're going to react to, talk about, and also kind of like an extended look for Superman that was dropped at CinemaCon by James Gunn and then released online. But let's talk first about Tales of the Jedi, dropping May the 4th. Tales of the Underworld, right? You know, it seems like another iteration. We had Tales of the Jedi, Tales of the Empire, and now we're getting Tales of the Underworld following Asajj Ventress,
Baby Cad,
and Cad Bane, which I'm stoked for. I think these are really cool characters that they can show, kind of flesh out a little more of their story. I'm still curious. I want to get the Cad Bane backstory. I'm still curious if he's really dead. I don't think he is.
Oh, there's no way.
From what we saw in Mando.
No way.
Or Book of Boba Fett, I guess. But what'd you guys think of this trailer? Are you excited for this? Drops May the 4th.
I think it looks, I mean, I literally just watched it, but I think it looks pretty cool. I'm wondering if they're taking any like story elements from the stuff that George Lucas was doing. Because wasn't he doing like an Underworld live action show or something?
Yeah, and that stuff's been popping up like the last couple months because people have been
talking about it.
So yeah, it's always such an interesting part of the Star Wars universe is that crime underworld stuff that I feel like you don't see a whole lot with like sci-fi stuff, or maybe you do.
Yeah,
actually, you probably do. That sounds pretty common.
I've never
seen it. Never seen any underworld stuff in any sci-fi.
There's no crime in other sci-fi stuff.
No syndicates, no gangs. Lots of gangsters.
Lots of gangsters. But yeah, anything with Asajj Ventress and Cad Bane is awesome. Is there anybody? Is it just them going back and forth between their stories?
Well, I assume there's 3 episodes in each one, so 6. So I just think it's probably going to be. I don't think they're intertwined. I think they're probably because it seems like a different. So it's Cad Bane's earlier days, I would assume.
It looked like her
after back and forth actually
after like Bad Batch.
Yeah,
or
it does look
up to Bad Batch.
It does look like that. I'm curious. The font. Like when everything would come, it was that green, like the Night Sister green. It was kind of like, so are we going to get the story of how she was resurrected, basically? If you've read, what's that? Dark Disciple? They have that whole, like Quinlan Voss and her love story. Is Quinlan Voss going to show up? We've seen things where it's like, is he still around? They've been hinting at him in the Obi-Wan. Yeah.
Okay.
The Underground Railroad that they had was Quinlan Voss, his name was there.
Yep.
In some of the comics, they've had some, like when Vader's hunting down Jedi, he's on a list of Jedi that haven't been found. So
how did he? I feel like he's like such a fan favorite. Was there like a certain thing that like happened that really like made him stand out?
Well, I think it was just the story of like him being in Phantom Menace,
right? Just in the back,
And then when they added him in Clone Wars and stuff like that, I just think a lot of people like
cool.
He looks
Let's
cool.
do something with him.
Yeah. So I think I like his storyline in the Clone Wars. I think he's a cool Jedi. He's kind of unique, where he kind of went to the dark side and then came back. And this whole story with Asajj Ventress, I think, is really cool. So I'm curious to see if they build anything out with that. The other question I have for you guys is, we got, like I said, this seems to be kind of like a series they're doing, right? Tales of the Jedi, Tales of the Empire, and Tales of the Underworld. What's the 4th one you would like?
Okay, I already have my answer. It's Tales of the Diner, and it's in Dex's Diner.
Get out of here.
Hello, Dex.
You wouldn't like to see that?
No.
He clearly has a backstory. He's a freaking bounty hunter, basically. You don't want to see that?
Has his butt crack always been showing?
Exactly.
Nah.
Oh man, you're crazy. Tales of the
Mick,
Diner.
do you have a better suggestion?
There's no better answer.
So there hasn't been like a Tales of the Sith yet?
Okay, that would be cool.
That'd be an interesting one.
Yeah, especially if they went after like some of the picked it like
Old.
big bad Sith.
Oh yeah. Who comes to mind?
I mean, if they did a Darth Plagueis, but I don't think they do that in a thing like that.
Yeah.
But Nihilus or anything like that, they could do anything.
Have they done anything with Bane?
No, I'm just saying like I don't think they would do a mega like Sith like that.
I feel like clearly they're waiting with the Plagueis stuff.
Yeah.
Like they were obviously setting stuff up in the Acolyte. I'm sure that they're like redirecting and trying to do different things, but I feel like they do want to introduce that character. But I think you're right. I think the mini series is probably not where they want to like really
in animation,
which is kind of ironic because all these mini series animations are like really popular and people like them. So
yeah,
I don't know.
Tales of the Ewoks. They just go after somebody.
I like mine better.
Never know. Yeah, we're looking forward to that. May the 4th. I'm kind of surprised they dropped it just out of nowhere with Star Wars Celebration coming up.
When is that?
April, right?
This month?
This month? We are.
Well, middle of April, isn't it?
I don't know.
It's on my most anticipated. So.
I mean, aren't they at
Cheater.
CinemaCon doing stuff?
I don't.
I don't think they are.
Disney.
This was just random Disney.
Yeah, they just dropped it.
Yeah, they're
just
decided
trying
to do it.
Steal some of that thunder.
Steal some of the thunder. Steal some of that Sith lightning.
It is April 18th through 20th.
Oh, it's coming up.
So yeah, so it's kind of interesting. The next thing we'll talk about, next trailer that we're going to talk about here is we just watched it. I didn't know it was even something they were doing, but we got Naked Gun trailer. I remember watching the Naked Gun movies back when I was younger, when we lived in Mexico, and they for some reason they seemed to always play them.
Yeah, they were always on.
They were always on, so I probably shouldn't have been watching them as a kid my age, but but I did, and this trailer was really funny. Liam Neeson's playing, I guess, his son.
Yeah.
Leslie Nielsen's son. It's. I mean, the intro's crazy.
Yeah.
When he's a little girl, goes in and then rips off his mask, and it's Liam Neeson.
Gross. 6 feet.
But this is crazy because I feel like we haven't gotten a comedy like in theaters in forever. Whether that's people are afraid to put comedies in movies now because they don't make money, or because they can't joke about anything these days. But this seems like I'd go probably watch that in theaters. Like the trailer got me. The trailer was funny.
I think the fact that it's Seth MacFarlane, it makes sense for him to be like, you know what, screw everybody.
Yeah.
I'm putting this out. I would definitely see this in theaters.
The O.J. Simpson joke was hilarious.
It's pretty funny.
Even just like having all the guys that are like talking to their, it's like such a airplane, all the old Leslie Nielsen movies, like that type of humor is like
it's
goofy and off the wall.
Yeah, it's such a specific type of humor that I think Seth MacFarlane does a pretty good job of going, to that old kind of parody humor. I think like the early 2000s with like all those Scary Movie, those I think lost kind of what makes those original movies funny, like Airplane and basically other Leslie Nielsen movies. But I think Seth MacFarlane has that kind of touch that he can implement. So yeah, I guess we're gonna go see this in theaters, right?
I mean, I'm down. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, I mean,
hilarious.
Whatever the minute 30 trailer,
short trailer.
It got me excited for something I had no idea was coming out.
A trailer really short that had like basically 2 gags to it. That was just really funny.
Yeah, it was
pretty impressive.
It is. I feel like Liam Neeson is actually pretty funny. Like you don't see him in a lot of like, but I think he's hilarious as Qui-Gon. I don't know if you remember him.
He's funny.
Yeah,
Well, belly laughs.
Yeah,
is what I get.
But like it's fun. It's a good like turning it on its head a little bit of like the Taken trope. Yeah. Like, oh, it's Liam Neeson.
That's hilarious.
But yeah, it looks pretty funny.
Yep.
Yeah. So the next thing we're going to talk about is the extended scene we got from the Superman movie that's coming out.
Speaking of funny,
it's basically that scene. If you watch the teaser and Superman falls in the snow, and he's all beat up, and he calls Krypto. It's basically that scene extended. So Krypto shows up and starts
ruins the take.
What a jumping that rascal,
jumping all over him, and he's all excited to see him, and Superman's in pain, and then he gets him to calm down and take him to the Fortress of Solitude. Fortress of Solitude looked really cool. How it came out, the door looked really cool. He goes in. There's a bunch of robots that kind of take him in, and then they use a machine to kind of heal him with the sun.
They use a giant magnifying glass.
Yeah. They're trying to burn him alive like they do with ants.
Yeah. But yeah, that was basically it. Then it goes into like some of the scenes we saw in the trailer, a little more extended. Yeah, I mean, for me, Krypto drives me nuts. I can't take anything seriously with Krypto. Mm-hmm. I have a feeling he's going to be in a ton of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
And to me, it's just like it's a cheap way to get people to watch a movie or be like, oh, see the cute dog?
Yeah. Oh, that's so, look at him. It's just so silly.
It's just so over the top that it pulls me out of it. The humor, the tone of things, that was my concern with James Gunn doing it. It's going to be more of like that. Everything is undercut with humor. They do it with the dog. They do it once the robots are in there, and the robot number 12 is like, he smiled at me, like that. Yeah. I was just like, it should be a cool moment, and it's like, hey, let's throw some. Anyways, that to me was, I think the aesthetic looks good. Like the Fortress of Solitude looked really cool. The door, the inside, the robots looked cool with their capes and stuff. Thought that was all good. But it's the tone that's I'm not convinced, and it kind of made me be like, yeah, I think that's my fears have been confirmed. What do you guys think?
It really feels like, and they might have said this before, but it feels like they're going back to that kind of golden age Superman where he is more out there with just the people that he's surrounded by, Krypto, like the Superman family, and obviously those comics had a lot of that kind of just quirky humor to it. Yeah. So I think that they're just diving headfirst into that, which coming off of the Snyder stuff, I definitely prefer your Man of Steels, BVS, Justice League. So it's hard to see just that such a drastic 180.
Yeah.
With a character that I think works really well with that kind of more mature take like Man of Steel has. Obviously there's room for humor and light moments in the film, but I think to really center that around Krypto, which I think you're right, I think that dog is going to be in lot of the movie.
He's going to be so annoying,
and it's going to drive me nuts. But yeah, I'm still rooting for it. It's a Superman movie. I want it to be good, but this did not give me the good feels at all. Yeah. I think if that scene was cut in the way that the teaser cuts it, I think it's way better. Just cut out the
goofy
dog playing around. And his reaction was stupid too. It just I get the dog is strong, but it seemed ridiculous hearing Superman going, oh.
Yeah. Also, Krypto kind of had a little bit of the Call of the Wild dog thing going on. Like just CGI dog.
Like he looked like Harrison Ford? Or?
Yeah. No, like the CGI dog. Have you ever seen those videos of Harrison Ford like
petting a person?
But yeah, it's like one of those things. It's like, okay, that's kind of annoying. Also, music was pretty one note generic as far as like,
it's the Reeves theme slowed down,
right?
And I get it. Like you want to the nostalgia of it, but I'm just like, man, it's not creative.
Yeah, do something interesting.
It's just like boom, 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 boom. It's like, okay, I know, I get what you're doing, but I don't know. It's like, do something unique, different. But they're kind of hitting you over the head with, hey, remember this?
Yeah.
So
they're cowards. They couldn't make their own.
Exactly. Yeah. So we'll see. I mean, for me, it's like there's been a lot of like stuff coming out about like some screenings that they've had, and then James Gunn was like, "No, we didn't do any screenings," and then somebody released the information that Bradley
Blue
Cooper
Angel.
is playing Jor-El, and then right after that they announced, Jor-El's in Superman, and so he's like, "Wait, I thought you said there
No, test screenings.
Bradley Cooper's in there," and they're like, "Wait, I thought you said there was none of this." But seems like the guy, you made a person angry that then like spoiled it.
Yeah.
And now, so it's just kind of interesting. A lot of the stuff that rumors that are going around is that the executives aren't sure about the movie because they're like, the tone is really all over the place.
Which, by the way, speaking of that, I like Bradley Cooper. I don't see him as Jor-El.
No.
I can't. Man, I mean,
It's a very interesting casting.
Russell Crowe was not in Man of Steel that much, but his just presence and impact in his scenes were just so memorable, and like clearly he was Jor-El. Like, he just felt like that. I mean, obviously I haven't seen the movie yet, so maybe it could be amazing, but maybe if they do just like a voice role for Bradley Cooper, maybe it could work.
What if he's a raccoon?
Okay,
Would you like that?
No, what I think is going to happen is he's going to open up the trunk of his spaceship, and an Asian guy is going to naked Asian guy is going to jump out of it. You know, he's like, "Oh, it's my crazy uncle."
You kill my uncle.
Yeah, Tor-El. Yeah, I don't. The casting to me is like, okay, it's kind of like a big name. I think that's what they were going for. Like, Bradley Cooper, but I'm like, you're right.
Ooh, we worked with him before.
My first thing is like, Russell Crowe just nailed that, and I don't know. But we'll see how they pull it off. What was the next thing? Oh, here's a little news. CinemaCon, we've been talking about Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse, Across the Spider-Verse, Beyond the Spider-Verse. Whether they had to reshoot the whole thing, seems like that was the case. They restarted because it's not coming out till 2027. They dropped a little like some scenes or some screenshots of it. Look pretty cool, but again, 2027. I don't know.
Honestly, I'm fine with it because I was expecting like 2030. I was expecting
years from
I was expecting it not to ever come out.
Yeah, that too. It was getting to that point.
So
it's between this and the Batman that I'm like, what a bummer, you know? Like those movies are never going to come out.
At least we got a date for it now. Suck it, Batman. So looking at it, it was like 5 years from the first to the second.
Yeah.
Which is crazy that they were going to release the third one a year after.
Not even a year. Yeah.
Right.
How bad did it have to be for them to
I don't know.
Scratch?
All they've said is like, they're like, we want to give the animation team enough time, and we want to break. They said they want to push the limit. You know, they want to do things people have never seen before.
5D movies.
Yeah. So I say let them work, you know.
It's crazy that
they
10 years.
They had to have scrapped it. They had to have. Like, there's no way that they were planning on releasing it like 6 months or 7 months after the second one. And then they're like,
when they left that cliffhanger too, it's like, oh, okay.
This isn't going to work. So we'll see. 2027 though. I'm excited. It's going to be 4 years. So it's coming out sooner than the.
We might have 4 Avatar movies by the time this
probably will.
James Cameron is just like putting in that work, you know.
But he's been working on those for 20 years.
Yeah. So. But I think we've kind of been spoiled in the like past 10 years with like your MCU movies that come out. It's like, 2 in 1 year, you know, that kind of thing. But I remember with like the Nolan trilogy, it was like every 4 or 5 years.
Yeah.
And I mean, I didn't know any different. So at that point, it was like, oh, yeah, it's normal, whatever. But yeah, like I said, I think it's not that bad. I was expecting a lot worse.
Yeah, I have a feeling Nolan's going to release the Odyssey and then the Iliad.
And then his James Bond movie.
Yeah, before this one comes out.
Yeah.
We'll see if it actually comes out, because whenever they've announced a date, it's end up
this
being
one's
pushed
legit.
back.
This
So
is
we'll
legitimate.
see.
This was at CinemaCon.
Yeah,
so it's
that's right.
June?
The next
July?
little rumor.
June 9th?
Thanks. Sure.
Oh, I don't know. Wasn't there a date on it?
I think there was. Yeah.
June 6th.
I just saw
we go.
2027.
The next rumor that I wanted to get your feedback on is we got Greta Gerwig is doing the Narnia for Netflix.
Mm-hmm.
And the rumor is they are looking at Meryl Streep to do the voice
Eustace?
of Aslan.
Oh.
And to me, that's like, all right, Netflix, you want people to, from the get-go, be like, we're not even watching this, is get Meryl Streep to be the voice of Aslan.
Yeah.
Like, make Aslan a female. It's not going to work out. It's just not going to work.
Okay, what if, let's hear me out.
They lower the pitch of her voice.
I was just
and
gonna
so
say,
it's like,
what if it's Meryl Streep, but she's like, hello, children.
I mean, I get changing, in Harry Potter.
Maybe,
you're like, hey,
maybe make Peter a girl, you know?
No, but it's just like,
Petra, yeah.
here's the thing. If you know anything about the Chronicles of Narnia, you know that Aslan is basically...
It's a Christ metaphor.
It's a Christ metaphor. It's God.
Jesus
It's
lion.
Jesus.
He's a Jesus lion, dude.
And so to be like, hey, let's just make Aslan have a female voice, it's not going to work. It's not going to work, guys.
It's not gonna work.
Yeah. That just seems like the biggest way to be like, yeah, we're not going to make this for the fans of the Chronicles of Narnia. And I think that's a mistake. I think that's a big mistake.
Yeah. You completely alienate your fan base.
Who reads those books?
Who reads the books? Other people don't care about the Chronicles of Narnia.
Yes.
You know what I mean? When's the last time you talked to someone and you were like, hey, Chronicles of Narnia? They're like,
what is that?
What is that? Like the core demographic for Chronicles of Narnia, mostly a Christian fan base, to be honest. Like literature wise, like great books, but like they have it's a Christ allegory in the books. So you're going to completely alienate your the people that are excited for it and are actually going to like homeschoolers, homeschool
You're
kids.
going to alienate the homeschoolers. I just thought that was nuts. I was wondering if it was an April Fool's joke. And then I realized that it was a day after April Fool's that I saw someone and I was like, okay, again, it's just a rumor. It's not like Variety or anyone else, but I'm like, it's just something to talk about. Like, don't do it. If you're thinking of, and Greta Gerwig has said like, we're going to do a different take on this. Yeah. Right. Like she's made comments like this is going to be a brand like nothing you've ever seen before. And I just don't know if that's the right take.
Yeah. Aslan is also going to be a monkey. I don't know if you guys heard that. Swinging around.
Crystal actually told me, she was like, oh, did you hear about this rumor? And when she said it, I was like, Greta Gerwig's doing it? Yeah, it checks out.
I'm surprised it's not Margot Robbie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Might
Interesting stuff. Don't do it, Netflix. If you hear this, don't do it.
I mean, talk about a downgrade too.
From Liam
Neeson. Come on.
Hey, give me I'll take Idris Elba.
Oh, that'd be sick.
He played a tiger before.
I'd even take a Will Smith. Whatever.
All right,
anything is better than Meryl Streep.
And then he can do songs just like in Aladdin.
Yeah.
And then slap.
Can your friends do this?
Perfect. Way better. And that would be a different take.
Yeah.
It would still work.
Aslan's
good. Or Kevin Hart. Or Chris Rock because he got slapped.
Just say The Rock.
Chris Rock.
All the rocks.
Yeah. Come on, Peter. Come here, my son. Daughters of Adam. What did you just say?
Daughters of Adam.
Sorry, Daughters of Eve. Sons of Adam. This is Cat Power of Adam. Where are those Beaver families? Mr. and Mrs. Beaver? That's great.
Yeah,
great.
You're right.
Take.
Wow, dude.
I should just hire you.
He should. I should do the voice of Aslan. Be the greatest thing ever. Next thing, we've been talking about this for a long time. We finally got the Switch 2 Revelio. Mario Kart World seems like a really cool game where you can travel all over the world and go off the course and do whatever you want. It's kind of like gave it the Breath of the Wild treatment.
GTA, is that what I'm
Basically. That's pretty crazy, pretty cool. Something unique and different from what we've gotten in the franchise. $450 for the console with the game, $499. The game by itself are $80 for the Switch games. A lot of people are complaining about that, but I feel like
in this economy.
But what I'm saying is, people are paying $25 for a combo meal at McDonald's. Really, you can't pay $80 for a video game? All right.
I can't. I'm too busy paying buying that combo, dude.
It looks cool. I love it. That's a day one for me. It's a day one for me. I love it. There's some cool games also announced. They had a lot of other developers doing stuff that they don't normally have. Hogwarts Legacy looks good on it, which I'm like, I'm not have to worry about getting a PS5. I'll just get that for my wife version. And she can play it on the Switch. There was the Hyrule Warriors that are going to do like a prequel to Tears of the Kingdom, which I thought was cool. There's Kirby games, the GameCube digital console stuff, 007 game that they're working on. Like there's plenty of stuff that are going to be really cool. So I thought it was awesome. It looks interesting, the whole camera thing where you can, seems more that's a
your typical thing. Nintendo thing. So I don't know if you saw it, Mick. You can put a camera, you plug a camera in, and then it's like when you play the games, it'll like display your face. Like if you're playing Mario Party, it'll display your face while you're going through.
That is a very Japanese culture thing.
And there's a mic on the thing so you can like chat while you're playing.
That's one of the things that's like, okay, finally Nintendo embracing voice chat. It only took them 20 years. You know what I mean? Like, so that was cool. You can do.
They were like, okay, this is going to stay around.
So, they wanted to wait it out. There's the voice chat thing. I thought it was kind of cool. You can actually like screen share with other people. So like if you're playing, then basically it would, if you had your camera on, it would display your face, and you can basically like play together. Have your face displayed over,
so kind of like a Discord
screen.
Call almost with video chat.
And then, you can basically like highlight your screen, because the example they were using was Mario Kart. They're all playing Mario Kart. And then you have your main screen and then everyone else's screens below. And so you can see what they're, obviously the frame rate on them is you could tell was like, because you're
struggling
showing like 4 different screens at the same time. But I was like, that's at least kind of a cool idea of like, getting people more involved instead of just like sitting there, Might have to put some pants on when I play with people though.
No, just the face.
Oh, I guess so,
Put some pants on your
in my face too.
Pants on your
face. So that was pretty cool. I like that they were doing that. It looks like they're emphasizing a lot like game sharing. So like you can get one game, and then the 3DS did this I think a lot. Where if you just had one game and you were playing local with people, you could share the game and everyone could play together.
Oh, okay.
I think, So that's kind of cool.
You can also lend out your games if you buy a virtual one,
like 14
days. And that's pretty cool.
Yeah. So they're doing some kind of interesting stuff there. They didn't really specify like what the specs are for the GPU and stuff like that. They were just like, frame rate up to 120.
They did show. I saw someone do a comparison of the Metroid 4 stuff they showed in the previous one versus what they showed for the Switch 2, and they're like, there's actually big difference.
Yeah.
So I was like, that's cool that they actually, you can tell there's a difference there.
Yeah, and I mean, it sounds like I honestly don't care about frame rate or anything. I'm your typical Nintendo fan. I don't care. Like I don't.
It's all about the game.
I don't get Nintendo consoles because the graphics are amazing. You know what I mean? But I think this will go a long way for those people that are kind of like, oh, well, it's really, the frame rate's not great. Like this will really kind of bridge that gap, I think. And they're doing upgrades to old games. So Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, and Breath of the Wild, you can purchase an upgrade.
Yeah, if you already own the game,
you can just upgrade to it. PS4 did this to PS5 too. It was like $10.
Kind of stuff, yeah.
So they're doing that. I did see that if you have the online subscription and you own the games, you don't have to pay to upgrade.
Oh, nice.
So that'll be cool. Because I was like, I want to upgrade Breath of the Wild just because. And I was like, oh, did you see? Okay, this is kind of cool. They had like, including the upgrades, they're doing like some quality of life improvements too. So you could download a thing to your phone and you could play Breath of the Wild, and it would then be like, oh, hey, there's a Korok seed that I haven't found before, and it would legit give you like GPS directions. It's like head north,
which would be great because there's like 1,000 Korok seeds, and I'm like at 400 or something.
Damn. There you go. You got to just pull out your phone.
And if I want to be a like completionist, that's crazy.
But yeah, just some kind of cool stuff like that. The controllers look cool. They're but we already saw they're magnetic. Mm-hmm. And then the mouse
thing looks
pretty cool.
Especially for Sid Meier's Civilization 4. Make me click that
a little RTS. That's what I'm like, hey, why don't you give me a little Warcraft 3 on the Switch so I can play it? That'd be pretty sweet. But yeah, I saw people saying that they used it for Metroid, and it was actually they're like, oh, I actually liked it better, like aiming with the
like playing on a PC.
Yeah, like playing on a PC. Like it worked pretty seamlessly. They said as soon as you put it down, the cursor appears, so it's not like you have to like change the setting. You just like set it down, and then you can use it. So that looks like what'll be interesting to see what games put it to use and stuff.
Well, they already showed some of that Mario Party stuff.
Yeah, the Mario
like
Party
that, which
stuff
seems like exactly what they would work for.
Whenever WarioWare comes out, there's going to be some crazy stuff that happened there.
Is that price point at like around what the PlayStation and Xbox is?
PlayStation's 500. I think it's 400 for the digital only.
Okay.
So it's a little more expensive.
Okay.
But when it first came out, wasn't the PlayStation like 6 something?
Yeah, I think so. I can't remember.
I thought when the PlayStation came out, it was like $5.99, and then one was like $6.99.
Yeah, I think it's pretty obviously people are like kind of complaining about the price a little bit.
Yeah.
It's definitely higher than what Nintendo consoles have been in the past, but I think it really comes down to like, oh, you beefed up the graphics because the Switch is $300.
More. Yeah.
The other thing is, games $80 for Mario Kart. But next gen like PS5 games are $70. I think I saw some of the other games are going to be 70. So Donkey Kong, they're going to do a 3D Donkey Kong.
It was PlayStation was $4.99.
Okay.
When it
so 5.
PS5 was?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But yeah, Donkey Kong's $70. So it looks like there's probably going to be a range of like $70, $80, and then maybe some for cheaper. People were complaining about they're selling that demo game basically instead of doing it for free. Like there was the one that's like, it's like Switch 2 Tour. It basically shows you how to do all the things.
Yeah.
But they're going to charge for it. But I think it's going to be like $5. So it's like, could you have just included it? Sure. But like people that are complaining about it, just don't buy it.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I'm probably not going to buy it.
No, I'm not going to buy it either. They did the same thing with the. They did the same thing with the Switch. Yeah, it was like Switch whatever, and it was like a small mini game.
The Donkey Kong game final reveal that they showed, I'm not that interested in it. I know people are big Donkey Kong fans, but
as long as it has multiplayer, I'll buy it.
I don't think it does.
I had some great time
with the N64 Donkey Kong
multiplayer.
So I don't know. It was like when they said this is our final thing. I was like, oh come on,
people are excited about it.
Give me a Zelda, but yeah.
You're not excited about the next 3D Donkey Kong that had since the N64?
Is Seth Rogen voicing?
No.
Well, what's the point?
Could be. Was there anything else in the news that we talked about before we go on to something else? I think we covered everything.
I think so.
No, that's it.
All right.
Day one buy for me. For the
day
Switch.
One buy. That's right.
Even though like anytime the Switch comes, a new Nintendo console is like any console. It's like, in 2 years they're going to come out with a better version. They're going to figure stuff out.
But then you just buy that too.
I'm like,
I'm still rocking
I'm still rocking my old Switch, dude.
That's what we should. That's what we should do.
Oh my gosh, dude. That's how
The
we go viral.
Nintendo guys, we give it 5 booms. Boom, 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 boom.
I don't know if I want to
boom. It's the Nintendo guys.
Oh my gosh.
I'll give it 5 donkey smashes. No? I mean, we got to figure out something to get popular, you know?
Yeah.
And
That's it.
Costco guys and the Nintendo bros. Nintendo bros.
Oh my, that's
way
it.
better.
That is
I
way
could
better.
stay for that.
Stay tuned for some Nintendo bros coming up. Yeah, it's a day one for me. Pre-orders. Hey, I guess Best Buy's doing a midnight release.
Like the
for
old
it.
days?
Like
I'll
the
do
old
it.
days?
Like wait in line kind of thing?
I think
Wow.
so. They're doing a pre-order, but with a midnight release. I'm like,
You got to
if
do
that's
that
the
just
case,
for nostalgia,
I'm doing
right?
it. I'm going to get the Little Caesars. I'm calling C-Dog up.
dude.
I'm like,
We're
C-Dog,
hanging out, dude.
I know you don't like Nintendo like you used to, but come down
Yeah.
for the fun of it. For
That's like the good old days,
times.
dude.
I'm going to call my ex-girlfriend and make sure she brings the Little Caesars.
Yeah.
And then
know?
leaves. Thanks for the
You know, be
pizza,
like, hey,
bud.
can we do a
recreate
rewind?
this?
Drive over from Seattle.
Yeah. I don't know about that.
Yeah, good times, guys. We'll edit this out. Let's talk about Daredevil.
Let's talk about
Let's talk
Daredevil.
about Daredevil.
It was episode 7.
Was it?
Yeah, it was 7.
Not 6?
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go and edit this whole thing. People
Yeah,
turned it
people-
off because
yeah,
they're like,
they're
oh,
like,
they're talking about
episode
6.
six?
They're talking about
This is
episode
all
6.
episode.
All right, episode 7. Take it away, boys.
What did you think?
I was going to ask you that.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
I thought it was great.
So it really focused on the culmination of the Muse storyline, basically.
Yes.
So we finally. Did you think it was him the whole time?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So
definitely.
the creepy guy that was talking to the psychiatrist lady is like, surprise, surprise.
Oh yeah, the guy that works with. No, the guy that works with.
No.
No.
They like showed one scene of him maybe in
I think it
episode
was
1 or
episode
2.
1.
He was like,
he
hey.
asked for a book signing.
Yeah. She signed his book.
Yeah, that's the guy that works for.
No, you need glasses, dude. You need to put your glasses
They don't
on.
look similar.
No.
Are you talking about his like younger Daniel guy?
No, the other guy. This like that got them to go with her.
No.
Got them to go with who are you talking about?
With the psychiatrist. He meets with
Psychiatrist.
he meets with her. He has him sign the book, and then she's like, "Oh, I have a new client."
No, you don't,
No.
Have, you don't have glasses on,
Really?
dude. You gotta put your
Yeah,
glasses
not
on.
even close.
Put your glasses on.
Wow.
But yeah, I mean that was the main story. I guess they had the stuff with basically the ending of the story with what's the guy's name? Polly.
But,
Jacoby.
yeah, the
Jacobo. The guy that's
The tracksuit
Yeah,
guy.
the tracksuit guy that's been like, yeah, these
Yeah.
guys suck.
I knew it. Like it was so obvious that he was gonna
Yeah.
not make it.
Yeah, he's gonna try something and get
Yeah.
put down. But yeah, I mean, I think there was a little more action in this one. A little more action, so that was good. I still feel like I'm missing something though. For me, I don't know why, but like I feel like I'm ready to get to the better stuff. I don't know.
Like you feel like it's just kind of building up to like, okay, who is actually the main villain of this
Right?
season
Yeah,
kind of
that's.
thing?
I mean, I feel like we're building up to Fisk. Everything's going to fall apart with Fisk, obviously. Because we already kind of are getting that where he's like, oh, he's out there, he's back, So he's like, but I feel like we're just like, we need to get to that, you know what I mean? Get to that point a little bit.
Well, so if it actually is episode 7, there's just 2 episodes left.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, 9 episodes, right?
I feel
I need the Punisher. I feel like I need more Punisher.
he hasn't shown up enough.
He hasn't shown
he's
up at all.
probably going to show up the last episode, if not this
And
next
punish
one.
some people.
And punish some people.
Yeah, because now Muse is out of the.
I was actually kind of bummed about that. He seems like a really interesting character, and it's just, I don't know. I feel like we were just kind of like getting introduced to him, and then they supposedly kill him off
He got shot. He got shot pretty good
a few times. Yeah.
But yeah, they kind of go into his backstory a little bit in this episode. So I was, it seems kind of like it seems kind of like a waste a little bit.
A little bit, yeah. Because he actually meets with the psychiatrist. What's her name?
I don't know.
Daredevil girlfriend.
Yeah.
And has like a little session. It's just like fairly quickly
Yeah.
it's like
he's a
revealing
psycho.
who he
Yeah.
is, and I thought that those scenes with those two were really compelling.
Yeah.
Because she just does such a great job of like, okay, I'm your therapist, but I'm also freaked out right now and I don't know what to do. I thought that was conveyed really well. But yeah, it just like, yeah, I don't know. I would have liked to have seen like at least one more episode with him like
killing people.
People. Yeah, why not? Yeah. But yeah, I love the action that they have. It feels just like it did with the Netflix stuff. They have said that, with the budget and everything, that they can do more fantastical stuff that they weren't really able to do in the Netflix, which some of the stuff to me looks a little CGI goofy. I think prefer just if they did most of, if not everything, just practical. Like
have a dog with a cape show up or something?
No. Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, just do it practical and then send me a check for whatever you saved.
Yeah.
Just give me a refund.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't need it.
But yeah, I'm interested to see what happens because it seems like I feel like Fisk needs to personally see Daredevil to be like, okay, now it's on kind of thing. Like I feel like he's just kind of like, I mean, you saw him, I didn't see him, but I'm feeling like he's back, kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm thinking. Yeah, I think I'm just kind of waiting for that because what was the other storyline? The whatever Gandolfini's son, whatever that guy's name is, his little is like threatening the reporter girl basically to.
Did you take him seriously at all? Would you be scared of him?
If I were a girl, yeah, probably. Me? If it's me and he's threatening me, no, dude, I can take him. I don't know. He does have a little bit of a kind of like a Weasley.
A Ron
face.
Weasley.
Yeah, Weasley face.
Ron Weasley face.
Like he seems like a little bit of a scumbag.
I feel like he's trying, and I guess they're doing it on purpose, but he's just trying to act tougher than he really is type of thing. Like he's like, ooh, Fisk is like this. I could be like this too. And
I think Fisk is going to kill him in the end, so.
Pull a penguin.
Yeah.
Oh, don't remind me.
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
Sorry, Vic. I'm sorry, Vic.
No.
Sorry. No loose ends, Vic. It's better this way, Vic. Come on, Vic. Come on, Ma.
Stop
Come on, Ma.
Isn't it beautiful, Ma? Look what I got for you, Ma.
Hey, Ma. Come dance with your son. How about you give me some sugar?
Who was it that was telling me they're like, oh yeah, Penguin's great. And I was like, yeah, it's pretty depressing. And they're like, yeah, you think so? I was like, yeah, it's pretty depressing. And they're like, well, I have one episode left. I was like, oh, yeah.
Just wait.
Just wait.
Okay.
Hey, Ma. Ma. What they do to you, Ma?
Oh man. But yeah, Daredevil, episode 7. I thought it was pretty good. Like I said, I'm still just waiting for it to tie together. Like they've been leading me on a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like once Daredevil and Fisk actually cross paths, then that's gonna make that kind of flip for you.
Yeah.
Can they do it in 2 episodes?
Can they do it in 2 episodes?
I mean, is it a little too late?
I don't think. I mean, I think if they give me enough Punisher, and that's the thing is, I just want more Daredevil, and they're giving us a little more. So hopefully, these last 2 episodes are like.
Yeah, I think they really need to lean into he's Daredevil now and follow what he does.
And I don't want to see another lawyer. No, I'm just kidding. It's called Daredevil. Okay. Yeah.
Or like, well, what do you think now that Daredevil's back? He's back? Well, that's word on the street is that's what these bad guys need. These bad guys need to fear him. You know what? I don't like vigilantes.
Well, the cops ain't doing nothing.
He stinks and I don't like him.
I'm like, enough of that.
I could do it less of that.
I don't think there was any in this episode, was there?
Wow.
No.
Wow.
No. I don't think so.
Hey, that might be my favorite episode.
Yeah. Our favorite detective was back.
Yeah. Yep.
She's
Detective Black Guy?
No.
Oh.
The one that was like, hey, someone give me a joke.
I need
real
a
fast.
joke.
Oh, the Asian lady.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's I think we were right in assuming that episode was just a carryover from the original
because she had a haircut.
She was a completely different actress.
It was Rose Tico from Star Wars.
She just, I mean, it was a different type of scene, but just the acting between them just felt very different than what the other one was.
She was asking for a joke. Do you know a joke? You know a good joke? She's always asking for the jokes.
Yeah. But yeah, it seemed like a pretty straightforward episode. It wasn't really, it kind of just felt like the last act from the last episode, like just the
right. It just continued
on from that. Yeah. How'd you feel about Daredevil? Like breaking into the crime scene, feeling pictures.
Okay, I'm glad you said that because that was the one thing that I was like, what? He's blind. He's on Braille.
He was pretty lucky that some of those pictures were a little 3D.
Yeah, he was
perfectly matched her face.
That's the one thing. Crystal said the same thing. We looked at each other. I was like, "What's he feeling? What's he feeling for?" That was pretty funny.
It's pretty gross though, because all those
are blood, dude.
Oh yeah,
dude. Well, he's got gloves on.
He took it off.
He did.
Yeah, he was like,
"Oh, that's why you could see it." Okay, that makes sense now.
Yeah. Can't see with gloves on.
I was thinking he had the gloves on, so yeah, that doesn't make any sense. No. But no, he has gloves off. Yeah, that makes way more sense. Yeah, you probably could have figured out a better way to do that, but I'm sure they were just like
starts licking it.
Yeah, he's like,
I recognize this blood.
They're like, you think they'll buy this? Like, yeah, sure, why not? He's a superhero.
That must have been the previous.
yeah, that was the previous writers, and they just couldn't get rid of it. They're like, shoot.
But I mean, that does come up in the comics. Like there are things that he has to, he can see, but he can't see. You know what I mean? Like how
so he could hear the vibrations off of the pages and the blood. This is what you're saying.
Yeah.
And then he could make a visual image in his mind.
Yep.
Wow.
Sonar, Mr. Wayne.
Like a submarine. If it was raining in there, he would have been able
to see a submarine, Mr. Wayne.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty funny.
Yeah. I feel like he just loves beating up that dirty cop.
Yeah, he does.
He beat him up again?
He threw his little
right in his forehead.
Bully stick.
Yeah.
And he's still alive?
Yeah.
Man, that guy's got like 9 lives.
Yeah.
The beating he takes, and he's like, it's only a flesh wound.
Yeah.
It's only a flesh wound.
Yeah. Anything else about the episode?
No, I think that's pretty much it. I'd really, I mean, the music still stands out. I really like the music throughout. It's been really good. But yeah, I'm excited to see. Let's bring in Frank Castle. Give me some Punisher.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we'll see the Punisher. I think we'll see Karen Page come back.
Foggy come back.
Guys, I've just been in
got
protective custody.
Story.
They faked my death, and since you're blind as a bat, you couldn't tell.
Yeah, I think he's actually dead.
I hope he's actually dead.
I think it would be a pretty big cop out if they were like, actually.
He now has superpowers.
Yeah.
And he's actually fog.
He can turn
He became into particles of fog. Whoa. So he's just like, every time Daredevil's walking through fog, it's like, you're walking through foggy.
Just like real friends.
So dumb.
I think it'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, so we'll see. Next episodes have.
Last thing I wanted to do today is National Soundtrack Day.
What?
I had no idea.
Like movie soundtrack day.
The only kind of soundtrack.
So
that you should be interested in.
Give me your top 5.
Top 5?
Top 5 soundtracks for movies.
You could have texted us earlier.
Sorry, guys. I just decided to do this on the last minute. My 5 changes all the time. But I'm obviously.
Can I take a full trilogy?
It's gonna be sure.
As one or as 3?
Yeah,
as one.
For me, if I'm doing movies, Lord of the Rings, I think those soundtracks are absolutely amazing. this may be a shock to a lot of people, but Unbreakable, I think, has one of the best soundtracks
Stop taking my
ever made. James Newton Howard.
Yeah.
Such an incredible soundtrack. That I just listen to that all the time. I've got to pick some Hans Zimmer, and there's so much to pick from.
Driving Miss Daisy.
The Man of Steel flight stuff is incredible. The stuff he's done there, the stuff he's done with Christopher Nolan. I think Gladiator is probably one of my favorite soundtracks that he's done. I just think it's so unique, amazing. But you could pick Interstellar. You could pick so many. James Horner's Braveheart soundtrack, I think, would be up there for me. For the Love of a Princess, that song is just like amazing on there. Anyways, those are a few. John Williams in Star Wars, that has to be in there. So, yeah. What do you guys just
did
give
you
me a
name
few?
6 things?
I just named a few things that I really.
But we have to do 5.
I'm just saying.
we specifically.
I'm not giving you guys a rule to do anything. I'm just saying, give me some of your favorites.
All right.
Favorite soundtracks.
Okay, so it doesn't have to be necessarily 5.
Just some of your favorites that you would say your top.
You already said Unbreakable. Unbreakable is an awesome, amazing soundtrack. Lord of the Rings goes without saying. You already said Gladiator. You already said Braveheart. I love the main theme from Saving Private Ryan. I love that theme. What are some other good ones? Last of the Mohicans.
That's
a great song.
I can play that on bagpipes,
Nice.
Oh my God.
Good Friday, baby. Come to our church on Good Friday.
That's sweet. I'm trying to think of some other ones. Did you say Interstellar?
I said Interstellar.
Interstellar is one of those great ones.
Inception.
I feel like I like Time the most, like out of that, but I don't know if I've listened through that as many times as other ones. I'll give I'm trying to think of another good.
Chariots of Fire, classic. The Lion King.
The Lion King, Hans Zimmer again.
Yeah. That was his first Oscar. Earned.
That made me cry during the concert.
I
feel like we're because we've listened to the same stuff.
We listen
grew
and
up
cry to the
together.
same stuff.
So
Josh, you're going to listen to this.
Yeah.
a lot of it is Hans Zimmer. Last Samurai is great. All the ones you mentioned, basically. I really like the 1917 soundtrack.
Thomas Newman.
Yeah.
I will say Truman Show soundtrack's pretty great.
Oh, Truman, yeah. Philip Glass.
Yeah.
His stuff is good. I'd have to say Giacchino's Batman, and I'd also have to say his Lost soundtrack is so good. Rogue One sounds really similar to Lost.
It does.
But the Lost soundtrack that he's done, like that soundtrack is incredible.
War for the Planet of the Apes is really good from Giacchino also. Oh, dang it. What were you... I was going to say someone else, and then you threw me off with Giacchino. Oh, Castaway.
Oh, Castaway's good,
Castaway's a great one. Alan Silvestri.
Yeah.
Back to the Future, obviously. The third one, though.
Obviously.
One, two, three.
That's what makes that the best Back to the Future movie.
So good.
ZZ Top.
So good. Anyways, let us know what your favorite soundtracks are if we didn't mention them. I'm sure there's so many.
So many.
I feel like I gotta go back and be like, man, I feel like I used to listen to way more soundtracks.
Now you just listen to Hans Zimmer. That's all you do.
Hans Zimmer is so good. But James Horner's, it's sad he passed away so early, but like his Braveheart soundtrack is like absolutely incredible. Like that's one that I always go back to, and I'm just like, this is so like there's certain songs that you just play and you like, just how beautiful it is. To me, it's crazy. It's amazing. But anyways, that's going to do it for the Nerd Age podcast this week. Thanks so much for hanging out with us and for listening. We appreciate it. Share it with your friends, with your family. Tell them we're a bunch of fun guys that hang out and
Put in a good word.
put in a good word for us. We're kind of
just like us, please.
we're struggling here, guys, to get some listeners. But no, actually, we don't care about that. If you're listening, you know who you are. Ann. Hi, Ann.
What a shout out.
But we are on Instagram. We are on TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. We'll be back next week with more of the Nerd Age Podcast. See y'all later.
See ya.
Bye.